What up, though, Lions fans? It's your boy, Chef. You already know what time it is. We're back for another episode of the YAK Pod. This is episode 10, baby. We rolling. Now, I have seen a lot of who's going to be the breakout player next season for the Detroit Lions. And I feel like the only real answer that we can give is Jamo, Jameson Williams. Now, as the official keeper of the Jamo, as I have deemed myself, I'm going to take a little bit of time to talk to y'all about Jamo. Because I didn't give it its proper time during the season. So now is that time. Let's talk about it. When we drafted Jamo, the hate started. I don't know why the hate started, but it started. People were nitpicking and picking apart how he looked on stage when he went up and accepted that hat and that handshake from Roger Goodell. Well, as a man who just had 15 games at Alabama with 1,572 receiving yards and 15 touchdowns, he was a bit upset that he went 12th overall. He thought he was the best receiver in the class, and let's hope he turns out to be that. But the fact that he was just upset because he had slid led people to believe that he didn't want to be in Detroit. It's the furthest thing from the truth. But did we give him the benefit of the doubt? Nah, we didn't. We just looked at his demeanor and we were like, he doesn't want to be in Detroit. Detroit versus everybody. Well, let's try not to be Detroit versus our own players. How about that? We know he was injured when he was drafted. We know he tore his ACL in the championship game, the national championship game with Alabama. So then there was the first season that he had when he was mostly injured. But then when he was activated, the first time he touched the ball was a touchdown. Yeah, okay. All right. The first time he touched the ball was a touchdown. All right. And then, that was pretty much it for that season. Then we fast forward to this offseason, and he gets this cockamamie gambling suspension. Even the NFL knew that it was wrong what they had done, and they reduced his gambling suspension from 6 games to 2 games. But he had already served 4. I'd like to see how they're going to compensate him for that, if they're going to give him 2 game checks back. Who knows? But the fact that he gambled in a hotel room on college basketball or maybe college football had nothing to do with the NFL. No one really knew the rules about the hotel, but again, everyone jumped to conclusions and thought that he was gambling in the locker room. And then it comes out that he was in a hotel and a team function somewhere else. The hate kept coming. Now, I don't know why the hate kept coming. We see the young man has talent, immense talent. He's super fast. And everything that he has done in Detroit has led us to believe he wants to be in Detroit, and all he's trying to do is play football and get better at playing football. And then there's the social media posts about they complain about him being in the hood, handing out water bottles to kids, being at Coney Island, being amongst the people. It's too dangerous. It's Detroit. Why should you do that? Jameson Williams is from St. Louis, Missouri. It's a very similar city to Detroit, who feels at home in Detroit because it's a similar city. So when you leave one place and then you find that the place that you go to is much like the place that you left, familiarity, comfort. He's comfortable. He's at Pistons games. He's out and about. He's a man of the people. He's giving away turkeys. He's charitable. But we still have people finding a reason to hate. And I don't know why. So when he comes off the suspension, he starts off slow. Yeah, and he had drops. Yeah, and there were just certain media members that were just trying to take victory laps because all of the hatred that they have built up, this validates that hatred. Man, that guy can't catch, he can't play. There were even certain media members that went as far as to say he had no talent. Let me repeat that. There were certain media members that went as far as to say Jameson Williams had no talent. So he went on to put together 34 touches, right? He had 30 receptions and 4 carries. In those 30 receptions, and this is regular and postseason, he put together 3 touchdowns. In those 4 carries, he put together 2 touchdowns. So if you're doing the math, 34 divided by 5 is roughly 7, right? 6.9, somewhere around there. Every 7 times that this man touches the football, he produces a touchdown. If you're still hating on Jamo, you need to have your head examined. Now, he played in 15 games this season, including the postseason, 12 in the regular season, 3 in the postseason. That makes 15. He averaged 2 receptions a game. Well, that just won't do. So, that's why he is the only candidate for breakout player of the year, in my opinion. There's other people that could break out, Ife Melifonwu, but Ife Melifonwu kind of broke on the scene already. We already know he's a stud. We already know what he can do, and hopefully he'll be healthy the entire season, and he'll just continue to build upon that. You know, when he's got 5-6 interceptions, when he's got double-digit sacks next season, when he's got, you know, 70 tackles, when he's got all these stats, nobody's going to be surprised. We already know what he can do. I mean, he came on as a dynamo. He came on as a force late in the season. Sam Laporta is not a breakout candidate. We already know Sam Laporta is a baller. I mean, he's top 3 tight end in the league right now as a rookie. We know the electrician Jahmyr Gibbs. We already know. I mean, he was what, 15 yards short of 1,000 yards rushing, you know, something like that. Was he 15 or 6? Somewhere around there. I think he was like 945. Correct me if I'm wrong. Check the stats, right? But he was very close to having 1,000 yards. And the man didn't even really play the first however many games, right? He was limited in the games that did play, and then he missed a game due to injury, right? So we already know the electrician is electric. He's gonna electrify you more next season, hopefully. So he's not a candidate for a breakout player. Amon-Ra St. Brown, we already know what he can do. I mean, that man's an all-pro. He's not a candidate for breakout player. So who else is a candidate for breakout player than Jameson Williams, who finally got the trust of Jared Goff. They've got some timing issues on those deep balls to work out. He's got to track the ball a little bit better on the deep balls. So he's got things that he can improve upon. And once he does improve upon those things, I really think he's going to break out. Looks like he should be the one sliding into that bona fide number 2 receiver spot, because we already know that Amon-Ra St. Brown is receiver number 1 on this team. So working with St. Brown, working with Goff, working with, I don't know if Josh Reynolds is going to be back. Like I've said, I want Josh Reynolds to be back because I want to give him the opportunity to make up for those drops in the NFC Championship, hopefully in another NFC Championship this coming season. So just working with this offense, working with Ben Johnson for another year. I mean, he's primed for a breakout. Again, you're talking about a man that every 7 times he touches the football, it's going to result in a touchdown. I don't know what to tell you. The first time he touched the football in the NFL, he scored a touchdown. 7 times touch ball, score football. How is your answer not Jameson Williams? You can say whoever else you want to say, but I just feel like, as I said, as the official keeper of the Jamo, it's Jameson Williams. Now, if you want to give me somebody else, let me know in the comments. Because I can't think of anyone. I can't think of anyone else who will be a breakout player. Maybe James Houston. But again, James Houston broke out as a rookie. He had 8 sacks in like 8 games. Right? So we already knew Houston was a problem. We already knew that. They gave him more responsibility this year. Then he got injured. So maybe you could say he'll take on that responsibility, more of an outside linebacker than just a pass rusher. I don't know, but maybe he can break out as an outside line. Maybe Jack Campbell will be a candidate for a breakout player because he started a bit slowly, came on in the end. He had pretty good stats. But I just really believe it's Jamo. So, to all you Jamo haters, if there are still Jamo haters out there, get your head examined, man. And if you're really a Lions fan, let's get behind these players, man. Especially the ones that need a little bit of seasoning. They need a little bit of time. They need a little bit of leeway so that they can develop. I mean, everybody wanted to talk about when Jamo started catching everything pretty much that was thrown his way. Everyone wanted to talk about how he couldn't catch with his hands. That NFC Championship game, he caught some things with his hands. I mean, he saved Goff from an interception because that ball was a little bit behind it. He ripped it away from Ambry Thomas. Ambry Thomas on Jameson Williams was a key matchup for me. I hoped that they had schemed ways to get Ambry Thomas on Jamo on that deep pass that he couldn't come up with. He burnt Ambry Thomas. So that could have been a matchup that I thought that would, if they could get it, it would be easily exploited. And we saw that. In the end zone, he grabbed that thing for our last touchdown. So man, I'm looking for Jamo to have a huge season next year. He had like 400 yards this year. I don't see why he wouldn't have 1,000 yard season next year with a full off season without any distractions. Hopefully no injuries. Hopefully no suspensions, anything like that. I mean, he's kept his nose clean. He's kept his nose to the grindstone. He's been working. He's been working on his hands. He's been working with Jared Goff to get that chemistry down. I don't understand how it's not Jamo. I just can't understand it. You can try to change my mind, but I just don't think it's gonna work because it's Jamo, baby. It's Jamo. But that's all the time that I got for me today. As always, smash that like button. Subscribe, as they say in the industry. Be a friend, tell a friend, and share this thing, man. Get other people in this kitchen. As I said, let me hit them with that home cooking. Let me hit them with that sauce, baby. Let them experience the experience of Chef talking that NFL, talking them Detroit Lions. I'm going to see you next time. Peace.